Tonight's documentary, Orphans of the Nile, is brought to you without commercial interruption by Family Healthcare, providing affordable, quality healthcare for every person and creating a vibrant community one healthy person at a time. famhealthcare.org. And Impact Foundation. Impact Foundation equips nonprofits to impact the community and the world by reaching their full potential to serve. ImpactGiveback.org hosts online giving for more than 230 local charities, 44 million raised since 2005. Find a charity to love on Giving Hearts Day and the rest of the year. ImpactGiveback.org.
Good evening and welcome to Uganda, Africa, often called the Pearl of the continent. This evening, we're traveling to the border of South Sudan and Uganda, where a Fargo-based nonprofit group, African Soul American Heart, works to rescue girls from South Sudan and bring them here to Uganda for education and where they're protected. Coming up, the Orphans of the Nile. As the explorers and British aristocrats came to the Nile 2 centuries ago, the wild grasslands of Uganda, Africa, would become this impressive expanse of nature few places on Earth could match. But as its animals stretch and stalk their way across the savanna today, the continent prepares to welcome those seeking more than adventure. After the rain clears,
we're estimating Moyo at 0845. It's Foxtrot Romeo Mike.
High above the African jungle, a break in the clouds.
Report position. 5 X-ray Foxtrot Romeo Mike landing Moyo.
And on a dirt airstrip in northern Uganda, anxious children of the village have turned out to welcome visitors from Fargo-Moorhead. The orphan girls from African Soul American Heart sing a welcome to their founder, Deb Dawson. And supporters of the Fargo-based charity. They've flown here to meet the girls who have fled the violence in South Sudan, now left without parents.
It doesn't ever get old. It's what I really live every day for, is to make sure that these kids are okay.
Kim and John Baird of Fargo.
Can't believe we're meeting you, Deborah. It's lovely.
Hi.
And Gina Sangren of Moorhead.
How are you?
Receiving a rock star welcome to Uganda.
It's incredible, yeah.
Because of the dangerous conditions and fighting in South Sudan, the Fargo-based group African Soul American Heart has moved the girls from South Sudan here to Uganda. The Fargo-based African Soul American Heart compound in South Sudan ransacked, the village torched.
We built a boarding school there, and I never expected that in the end we would leave that all behind.
All of the orphan girls scattered, seeking safety from gunfire, trying to find each other after the chaos. Martha Niama was 8 when she walked for hours and then got to the wide Nile River.
So they got a bunch of plastic, the guys that were taking them, a bunch of plastic and tied it with ropes, put the girls on top, and they pulled them across the Nile.
Still others survived unimaginable conditions.
Some of them saw people killed. Some of them saw family members killed. One of our girls walked with her blind grandmother, and there was no food along the way, no clean water. She fed her grandmother leaves so that they could survive.
The orphan girls of Asa are now together at this compound in northern Uganda, safe, living, eating together, and doing it protected without fear.
First of all, we're protecting them, feeding them, clothing them, getting medical care, now protecting them from the war, and educating them.
And it's here where the orphan girls go to school, getting some of the best grades in the village.
I'm happy for the administration for the great job that they do for our students.
A source of pride for Fargo South and NDSU graduate Aja Galuak, who now oversees the girls here and the Fargo-based charity in Uganda. Aja fondly recalls her first few days and months in Fargo, a new culture, a new school, and of course, our weather.
Oh yeah, the weather was very, very unknown, unpredictable. Because the first time we saw the snow, it's like, what is this? A flower falling from there, and then we try to look at it, it melts and is cold. So it was interesting.
The former North Dakota Guard member left a good job in the States to return to Africa. She came to Fargo back in 2003, an orphan, a refugee. Now she's here.
It's a recovery type of life for me, to just seeing this and talking about my previous childhood life and sharing it with them, and they share it with me, so that is helping both of us.
And what a change for these girls. In southern Sudan, most of them would already be subject to an arranged marriage and having children. And the girls are grateful, dancing, singing. Sometimes overcome with emotion.
My name is Elizabeth Ayo. I have a song.
As they thank Deb and the sponsors from Fargo Moorhead for saving them.
Just remember there was a river valley, and the compound, we love you so much, and me.
As night falls in Africa, the orphans of the Nile get water for the day ahead. It's not work, it's life. They sing as they head back, a sisterhood of survival. Coming up, just miles from the girls, a real human drama plays out at the border with South Sudan, and it's overwhelming for those who witness it.
Tonight's documentary, Orphans of the Nile, is brought to you without commercial interruption by Family Healthcare, providing affordable, quality healthcare for every person and creating a vibrant community one healthy person at a time. famhealthcare.org. And Impact Foundation. Impact Foundation equips nonprofits to impact the community and the world by reaching their full potential to serve. ImpactGiveback.org hosts online giving for more than 230 local charities, 44 million raised since 2005. Find a charity to love on Giving Hearts Day and the rest of the year. ImpactGiveback.org.
It is morning in Uganda, Africa, what promises to be a hot, sultry day. Work and chores along the Nile River begin as the searing sun starts its climb. But in the distance, on the shores of this great river, a human drama. Families, hungry and scared.
That was that war, there's no food.
War and no food?
The situation is heartbreaking that many people, and this is just one, I mean, they are crossing this ferry all day and going to our reception center. The area they used to go, those camps are full. They cannot take any more refugees. They now have as many refugees, Sudanese refugees, as they have Ugandan people living in that county area.
And a few miles from the Nile, the border between South Sudan and Uganda. A bridge and a refugee reception area next to the border where 1,700 South Sudan women and children cross every day. Hundreds of kids have arrived as orphans.
These people go through a lot of suffering in a daily life. They don't have food, like whatever they planted was destroyed, and then whatever they have in their house was raided. So people come with various reasons.
We found several families who had just arrived across the border after nearly losing their lives.
Those unknown gunmen made away with everything in her house and set the house ablaze.
It was here at this refugee collection site where we witnessed the strength and determination of the most vulnerable. Children wearing tattered and soiled Disney dresses played on swings. Feet from others on a merry-go-round at the height of chaos, trauma, and uncertainty in their lives.
You never get prepared because soon you hit there, part of your soul related to that and bump you in.
It would be a heartbreaking few moments for Aja Galawa, who, before coming to Fargo in 2003, spent time in a refugee camp herself, an orphan from South Sudan.
A confusion of not knowing.
It was an emotional, agonizing afternoon. The sight too familiar, the pain deep.
A confusion of not knowing where they're going and what if they will survive tomorrow, or what will happen to their life tomorrow.
And for this mother of her own daughter now, a moment of knowing the what ifs.
All the kids that are sitting there, basically like her, I could be one of them now.
It would be a fiery sunset on the Nile that would close out the emotional and poignant day. This mysterious great river of Africa, home to beauty, hope, and despair. Coming up, we will witness Fargo Moorhead sponsors and the orphan girls of Asa visiting refugee camps where their relatives struggle to live each day.
It's just an experience most people in the U.S. can't even imagine.
This is what the girls left behind.
Tonight's documentary, Orphans of the Nile, is brought to you without commercial interruption by Family Healthcare, providing affordable, quality healthcare for every person and creating a vibrant community one healthy person at a time. famhealthcare.org. And Impact Foundation. Impact Foundation equips nonprofits to impact the community and the world by reaching their full potential to serve. ImpactGiveback.org hosts online giving for more than 230 local charities, 44 million raised since 2005. Find a charity to love on Giving Hearts Day and the rest of the year. ImpactGiveback.org.
It is a rainy Sunday morning in Uganda, Africa. Still, the gray day doesn't stop the Orphans of the Nile from singing.
Up the tower, place 3 blocks per layer, alternate.
And this would be a day
Okay, next.
the girls of Asa
Yeah, try from there.
and their Fargo Moorhead sponsors would go on to cherish.
Can you make her a headdress?
A day of doll making and conversations that would be simple yet meaningful.
Oh, good. That looks pretty good.
This is the most exciting thing that I've seen in a long time, and to have somebody just think of it on their own, just a visitor, a sponsor, just because she heard they didn't have dolls and stuffed toys. And so she said, I can do something about that.
Everyone loves dolls, don't they?
It would also be a time for the sponsors.
That's your name is Ayat?
Kim and John Baird of Fargo and Gina Sangren of Moorhead.
That's so pretty.
To bond with the girls they support.
Okay. Her name is Carol. Carol. And she bought you this. She wanted you to have a bracelet that was made by an artist in Moorhead. I'm from Moorhead.
For Gina, it meant giving a meaningful gift her mother picked out for student Rebecca Nyadak.
You're welcome. So that's from Grandma Carol. Thank you, Grandma Carol.
Yeah, go ahead.
And for John Baird, his cell phone would prove to be that icebreaker, and conversation started.
It's a lizard.
The internet, a fascination anywhere in the world. But never far from the minds of the sponsors were reminders of what some of these orphan girls have endured at a very young age. Martha and Mobile today do laundry, singing through their chores. But the two girls have stories of loss and heartbreak. As orphans, they witnessed the loss of their parents. And sadly, because young orphan girls are so vulnerable, they become victims of unspeakable acts.
So many atrocities. The South Sudanese are by far, the most traumatized people in the whole world.
Trauma counselor Denise Carlson has worked with the girls, well aware of their past and the crimes committed against them.
In general, they've experienced trauma as far as having to escape the war, having family members killed, watching the family members killed, friends killed, having to hide in the fields, running to the border, rape. They've lived through a genocide, 40, 50 years of a genocide, and now they have the Civil War.
That is why the Fargo-based nonprofit African Soul American Heart is so vital in the girls' survival. A chance at life because of education and a life without fear.
This is going to educate girls for the future of a country that has been marked by no education for girls.
And this could be the home.
And it would be a trip to a nearby refugee camp near the South Sudan-Uganda border that would affirm what the sponsors had learned on this trip to Africa. These are just children. Their parents, just like us.
People are living to live, and they're finding shelter, finding food, and finding the very basics that they need.
It's just an experience most people in the U.S. can't even imagine.
For the people from Fargo-Moorhead, a real change in perspective once they made the hours-long journey to the refugee camp, which houses thousands of women and children. They have been forced to flee their homes and now live here.
I'm going to be less selfish. I really swear I'm going to be less selfish and enjoy more of the things I have and not worry so much about the things I don't have.
Is this your brother?
Yes,
No.
my brother is.
The Fargo-Moorhead sponsors would travel to the refugee camp along with their Asa girls, where their aunts and cousins could be found waiting.
Let's see if you look alike. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You look like brother, sister.
Yes.
Deborah saw her family. The Bairds were there to witness it.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
And Gina Sangren was moved to see her student Rebecca connect with relatives of her mother. The refugee camp, home to thousands, at times overwhelming.
They were clearly, many of them, sick, and it's a little heartbreaking. But I'm happy for her. She gets to see her cousin.
According to the UN, more than 100,000 people have escaped violence and hunger in South Sudan to Uganda since July. Some starting over with very little, maybe a tarp and a jug for water.
They do not have any other vision or have that hope of having a better place. It seems like, okay, this is how life is in some part of the globe.
The scenario was a chilling reminder of where these orphan girls came from, what they left behind.
Do you know how to tie shoes?
And now, how this sisterhood of Asa
The tongue has to be up.
is changing their lives, preparing them for a future.
There you go.
And while often stoic, the girls break into a celebration of song and thanks. On this day, it's a show of gratefulness and appreciation. And with so much uncertainty in their homeland right now, these girls are its shining stars. These orphans of the Nile. I'd been to Africa once before for WDAY, and ironically that was in a refugee camp as well, but you know, you're just not prepared for any of this. The greeting that we got on the ground was crazy. All the orphan girls came running up to the plane and welcomed the Fargo people. So that was a pretty incredible start to the trip.
Sensory overload. I mean, you get there and it's a totally new landscape. You know, it's hard to describe because all your senses are just firing. I mean, it's new sounds, it's new smells. You're seeing different things. So you're trying to do your job, my job as a photographer, photojournalist, and also kind of just be in the moment and absorb the fact that you're in Africa, you know, in this really cool, special place.
The sheer beauty of Africa, and then a few feet away, the despair, you know. So here you have the beautiful Nile River. You have zebras and lions and giraffes, and then you have these refugee camps just a couple miles away where thousands of people are displaced because they don't have a home.
The refugees, the South Sudanese refugees that were on their way to a refugee camp, and everything, we were just in the moment, you know, they were moving, everything was happening really fast, really quick. And then there's a shot where I actually kind of tilt and pan down a little bit, and it's kind of this reveal of a child on her back. Like it's a child that's probably less than a year old. And that just it's burned into my memory, because it's this fragile child that has no home, that's probably not being fed what it should be fed, and their future is uncertain. They're walking onto their ferry where they're not sure what's going to happen.
This should make us all uncomfortable, because these people are us. They're just like us. It wasn't their choice. It's not their choice to be without a home. I hope people tune in to see what a Fargo group can do to make life better in a really small part of the world. For a few kids, but they're making a huge difference.
Tonight's documentary, Orphans of the Nile, is brought to you without commercial interruption by Family Healthcare, providing affordable, quality health care for every person and creating a vibrant community one healthy person at a time. famhealthcare.org. And Impact Foundation. Impact Foundation equips nonprofits to impact the community and the world by reaching their full potential to serve. ImpactGiveback.org hosts online giving for more than 230 local charities, 44 million raised since 2005. Find a charity to love on Giving Hearts Day and the rest of the year. ImpactGiveback.org.
I'm Deb Dawson, president and co-founder of the Fargo-Moorhead nonprofit African Soul, American Heart. You can make a difference in the life of an orphan girl from South Sudan. Your gift will protect her from forced marriage, war, and disease, educate her in school subjects and practical life skills, and empower her to be a leader and give back to her community. Visit our website, asainsudan.org. Thank you.